donation time again. This is a big thank you to Muso John of the channel Jungle John on YouTube for letting me have this. Well, that he's actually broken himself, but again, it's what I'd like. I'm going to either use it for parts or try and get it fixed. Let's see what I can do. Hi guys, Retro Tech Ralph here. But it's a repair video. If not, it's a donation video. It could be a few, shall we say. Right, this has been donated from a friend of mine. Doesn't live close, but I went to see him well, for me, the other day, for the video being released, maybe the other week. But we've been talking for months about this. This, I thought, was an Xbox One S. It's not. There's no big round circle on there. This is the Xbox One X, which is good. A little bit of clean and stuff. It's fine. Absolutely perfect. He had an issue with it. I think he wanted to do the upgrade on the hard drive to put an SSD in there, which is probably what a lot of people want to do to try and make these a little bit quicker for nowadays instead of buying the Series S or the Series X. It didn't go right for him. So he's graciously donated this to the channel, and here we are. This is an Xbox One X. I have an Xbox One that Tim, who's BFET, yes, that's a good question. BFET, whatever. Yes, Tim, love you to bits. BFET 66. Oh, there we go. Who donated that to me? That's it, still in the house. Partner's properly, yeah, using it. I can't get a look on there. This may be potentially in here working for me. So, partly teardown video, partly repair video. Let's see where we get up to. So, he's warned me. It did work for a while, and then it didn't. He got a couple of hours gaming session out of this, and then suddenly gone. So, not fully sure. Let's have a look. I've talked to a few people about this, and we have got ideas. So in a normal Xbox One X, you'd remove these two screws here. This would pop off. Before, after, probably before, because this part looks like it's just tabbed in, so you might be able to prise this out. There was a couple of these that were broken, but I've repaired before the video, so it's just the usual stuff anyway. The whole top bit then, I have these two screws which are missing, and he has warned me there's more screws. You slide it forward, and then I need to try and get this side here, because the Xbox logo's here and the front's in front of me, up, and then jiggle and drag, potentially pull up, and then off with. It isn't too bad actually atop this, so even if it doesn't work, this is parts for the future, shall we say. Which I don't mind. Anybody who wants to donate something. Right, here is the problem. If you know about these Xbox One X's, and I'm just going to get the chair out behind me to have a look. Right, here's the hard drive. There are no screws holding the hard drive in. There is one screw right about there, which has not been put in properly, but still I could probably undo and take that out, because I need to get that out anyway. So it will come out without, but that's fine. It's not a go at him for not screwing things in. However, there's my problem. There's a big problem there. There is no connector there holding on towards, we're hoping it's the module which has the USB, which is right there, and the wireless gamepad button, which I'm hoping is not essential. I don't go into the operating system on this. I've not turned this on yet. That module is on the plastic part of the bottom, and he said the first time we did this it went fine, he replaced, he did, done, and then the second time he did it, he properly ripped off the actual connector here. So there. Now this is one of my dodgy clean fingernails. Let's have a look. There you go. That's the size of this. It's micro, yeah, it's very small stuff to use here, and I want to show you the problem. I think is the issue here. Now I'm going to turn my magnifying glass on and try and get you a little close in, because the camera is not really getting close enough. There she is. Right. Right here, this horseshoe part here is probably part of the original connector which was on here, and there is another one I think in the center right over here. So there's at least two, there's potentially three bits of the original connector still on here. I don't want to rip them off. I'm going to heat them off to get these parts off. Right, so if you look carefully at, why is it I can't keep this straight? Here we can. Right, okay. Ooh, that looks weird. Yes. Yeah, let's just hold it there a second, shall we? And have a look. Looky what we have here is the traces on this side here, which you can probably get into focus. These two are ripped off completely. Although, if this wasn't so tiny, and I could probably find this connector anyway, that would potentially be from this, actually, the one, two, because it starts off on two. It starts off on one over here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Number 11 looks like it goes to this via here, so that could be repairable-ish. And the one below is ripped off there, but looks like it goes underneath and potentially is an earth. But on this side, there are probably 2, hopefully 3 that are earths out of the 4 or 5 that have been broken. I mean, I don't want to knacker that one completely to get this completely off. Although I know I could. But talking about it with others, it's potentially... Oh, no, I'm going to leave that a second. Potentially the gameplay has been marred by it's shorted out somewhere on here. So if I can get all these vias, they're not, and the traces not actually touching each other, then potentially I've got no USB on the front, and potentially I might not be able to pair a controller. But talked about this with John, and he does state that you should be able to pair it up in the operating system, but you need to plug it into a USB for it to find it. So potentially, it's actually, for me, I think it's worth losing this. So what I need to do, well, for losing that USB port, because on the back, if I zoom out quite nicely, you have already got, what, 2 there. So we're not really losing a USB. Well, we are losing a USB. So let's have a look at how we get this out. I think what I've learned from other videos is this is actually put upside down. There is obviously where the chip goes, but I'm going to need to take that off anyway to repair the thermal paste. We have rounded heads on the screw, not rounded as in the thread or the whatever, but they're actually the heads are rounded. These are circled, but they're flat on top, so like domed, these ones. So I need to figure out which one goes where. The long ones are probably the same as these because they've got a flat top and they are round, but these are more a traditional dome one. I think they're all T10s, T8s. I have T's for undoing it anyway. That's the same as that, which is the same as that. So what I'm going to do, this is going insane, I'm going to write F on each one of these, that, and that, just to help me out in the future, and the rest of them are rounded ones, and then we know how to put this back together later. So hopefully that should be them gone. I think then we need to remove this board here and this board here. There's a ribbon cable or there's a connector between one of the or the other. But there are a billion different videos out there. I do recommend watching them. My video is going to be more of a donation and help for if you've got a similar sort of problem, we can just get around this. And we'll just see what happens, shall we? And you can take a little bit of tutorial with my videos if you like. If you don't, then yes, that's fine. I don't mind so much. So let's get this open and have a look at what's on the other side. Now, a slight jump forward, I have the board that comes off the side of here. 3 screws hold it in place. A black one holds it in here, which is shorter than the 2 silver ones there, and then this pushes off with the connector there. So just gently take the screws out and then just slowly pull this out, being as careful as you can. I think that might be the Bluetooth. Microsoft model 1802. Not quite certain, but it's definitely an antenna or some sort with a big heatsink. That's quite weird. Okay, but I'm not worried about that at the moment. The front panel came off. I've also got a module on there. I just actually just said Wi-Fi on there. 3 screws again. X1, 2 and 3. They're all same gold ones. That comes, they have to watch out for the ribbon cable on the front right here. Remove that first. The top part here unclips, and then that ribbon cable will slide off, which is down here. And then this itself then will come off from the connector. So if ever you're doing this the other way around, make sure the ribbon cable's out of the way, then push that in place and put the ribbon cable in. It's easy enough, shall we say, but not at the same time. So let's put all these to one side, because I like to keep things a little bit organised the best I can, because they're not going back on for a while. So I think with those flat-headed screws come off, I think there is a little bit of movement on stuff. Yeah. Right. The back looks like would be the best key to get this off. Yes. Lift up from the actual back itself and slide backwards, which then removes one of our problems. And then if we've not done the actual ribbon cable which comes from here, which goes all the way to the front on this little panel here, which is the, I assume, the power button and an infrared receiver maybe for remote control. That is all there and done and happy. Right, that is another problem I'll get to in a second. So now we're left with this. I'm actually left with a screw that's too long. That's weird. So now we have it the other way around. So this is the right way around, but it's actually the bottom. That screw doesn't look like it wants to be there, to be honest. That's small, but it's not gone in too much. Again, there's parts on this I'd like to get into. Why is that being ripped off? Okay. Not too essential. There's a flat one, and there's a potentially one missing there as well. And maybe there. But I don't know. That's a very small flat-headed one. Okay, so that will come off. Looks like maybe it could have been better. Yeah, I'm guessing there are the 2 screws there missing. One there, one there. Probably 3, 4. There's a few missing off this, isn't there? Okay. So now we're down to the power supply. I've still got the bit here for the ones at the bottom which have actually got parts on there. So we want to take the drive out, the disk drive, which has got underneath here, a bit better for myself. We have a ribbon cable underneath there, so I can pull that out from on here. And then a ribbon cable there. Let's pull this out from here. So it's a SATA cable there. So that's a disk drive out. This is honestly the first time I've ever done this. There is no disc inside, so that's fine. There is actually a release on the corner there, which you can access from the side of the box itself, in case there is a disc stuck in there when the disk drive goes. So disk drive goes up there. We can get to the power supply, but we can't as well. But straight away I see the disk drive, the hard drive, 1 terabyte, which is nice. What I'm going to do is, because the caddy is not even put in place either, and this isn't even put to the caddy, or is it? Yeah, I've got a screw. I've got 2 screws missing there. Let's just remove this completely. Then we'll reattach this with 2 more screws, well, 3 more screws back onto there. I don't blame John at all for this. He's obviously tried to do this on his own, which is great. This is exactly what I try and ask people to do. You've got nothing to lose, off you go. Try it. Now, I've watched people do this before. I'm going to take out the power supply for the fan. Right, so what we have is all these screws here, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potentially. Yeah, there's two Fs what I put on next to flatheads. On the front here, that's also for the fan as well. Right. Okay, I'm just looking. It's quite clean in here, to be honest. So let me remove these screws here, and for no reason that's just popped out at me. Potentially plastic. See what that does in a moment. So I'm going to take all these off. I'm going to leave that on for the moment. So hold fire for 2 seconds. We turn back round again, the little screws were out. I've seen that you take the power supply out, but you also take the fan at the same time, and then you have to go sideways. Actually, that's gone different than even I've seen. Okay, so your power supply goes underneath this, this foam piece here, but I'm going to leave that as is. But I do need to, it's actually really quite clean inside there. So I'm going to leave that as is, one big full module. This reminds me so much of a cross between the Xbox original and the Xbox 360. The way that things are laid out in here. The copper part on there looks quite warm. I'm going to put this one side a second. Again, I haven't actually powered this up. So there is a small chance this could actually work, but I'm not giving up any hope for it. That is where the power goes in for that I just took out. So we have, where are these look like standoffs or something. Inside the fan looks really good. I think, don't get me on this, but I think John might have cleaned this before I've done anything. Okay, so we want to get that off. I need to redo the paste. You can see the blue stuff underneath here where you've got all the pads, the thermal pads. So what I'm going to do is remove these 4 screws and hopefully get access to the clamp that's underneath it. Now, these should go straight through, and I need another tub, and I've lost all the tubs. There's a couple there for that one. Yeah, I am plenty of screws short. They're not, they are essential. But yeah, let's try and get all these 4 out as quick as I can. As quick as that. 4 out, that's all the screws out now, I assume. So I would like to take this out but leave all the thermal pad on. I would recommend on older systems, when the thermal paste has dried, just run it a little bit to try and get the whole thing a little bit warmer, and then the thermal pad will come off. I suppose if you do a little bit too aggressively on this, you could easily rip out the chip or anything else. Actually, I found another one of these. Okay. These are the plastic parts which went through from the backing part, so you definitely rag that off. You can hear it slowly cracking. I don't want to put anything underneath this to try and destroy anything. It's just stuck in place. Get that. There we go. Got a thermal pad there as well. So I'll leave that there because that goes against this chip underneath here. There's a clamp which I'm going to have fun taking off. So let's get rid of this. Yeah, the whole lot is clamped straight through, so I can't take this off without taking off the clamp, and then for some reason the thermal pads aren't as perfect as I hoped. Oh, right. Problem now is I don't have a tool to extract this with, and there is, it is an X format, an X thing there, but it's also these parts here. I'll get you in, give you a better clue. Yeah. These parts here, there is a tool that you can get which goes underneath and through, right, focus there, which then clamp underneath, sorry, like that, and you prise upwards without touching the board. You can get a screwdriver underneath there and you will damage the board. I'm going to try and take off this because I need the actual pad off. There's no screws at all in this. This is ridiculous. So I need to try and see if I can get this off without screwdrivers, without... Why is that a little bit burned? That's the earth anyway. It might just be dirt. Might be a lot lucky. So while I'm bit around here as well. Bits and bits. It's not as clean as I thought, this board. No, that's fine. Doesn't seem to be anything bad staring at me, except for this corner, which this is why I need to get down here. So hopefully these and these wires, actually a lot of them, go off to earth. So the USB should have 4, the power switch should probably have 2. So this might just be complete overkill, or it could be layers upon layers of circuit board, and these just don't pass through from the top to the bottom. There's bits in between, so I don't want to go too deep into this. Right, time to remove that. To be honest with you, that wasn't as difficult as I thought. I tried putting the screwdriver in alongside to try and get inside this little lip here and try and push down and then bend up at the same time, because it's virtually a spring anyway. But then figured out the screwdriver goes in there and then just bring them off, so it's actually not that bad. So I've not damaged anything, I've not touched anything on the board. So now we can try and pull out. There we go. So virtually everything's off apart from that part there, which is over here. So yes, the paste is dry. And yes, there's a bits over here as well, which I can, it's almost like a plasticine this. So I need to maybe put it back together again a little bit. I'll clean off that, that is, yeah. Get you in. I mean, the heat of these running, I'm not surprised it actually has dried out that quickly. But what I need to do is remove as much of this as possible before I put some, I'll just put isopropanol on this to loosen off the others. And then I'll put a nice little line down the middle, clean off as well this part on the heatsink. And this will be nice and pretty underneath here. There don't seem to be that much paste, to be honest. I would definitely like a bit more, but I would also like a lot more in the centre, and I'm trying so hard not to get anywhere near the chips. Oh, the live resistors or whatever, but yeah, trying to mush off. I don't think anything like that's a good idea. I think more of a plastic is a better idea. So I've got some plastic spudgers and all sorts of scrapers and stuff. So yeah, let's get off the metal. And to start with, there, that's a lot easier. So that's just gently scratching off the top, nice Xbox logo on the corner of there. Yeah, I can be a little bit more rougher with this because I know I'm not going to completely kill it. I think if I do, then it's good practice for me. Because I think our damage in the corner has got to be done by a heat gun. And I have got a heat gun. I have got no idea how to use it. So, leave me alone for a bit. I'll get this cleaned up and come back to me in a second. With a good 20 minutes gone, the chip is nice and clean. I know it's pristine, but I think it's as good as I can, well, at the moment, do. So, let's have a look. Let's turn this board around. So let's go to the fault on this. It's potentially, where John was talking is that he got a couple of hours gaming out of this, and then suddenly it just went and he lost it. There's a Scorpion on there. This used to be, was it Project Scorpio? Scorpion, yeah. Okay. So that a couple of hours gaming out of it, which I'm not sure either way. If it was to do with that shorting out, I'm hoping it's just down to that shorting out. But it could just be that he's taken, I don't think he's taken the chip off, to be honest. I'm going to say that the thermal paste is really dry on it. So what I need to do is have a look inside here and warm up parts on there as well. And I've got to, do I use capstan tape and then a little bit of heat? I don't know. I'm just not confident with it. I'm going to leave the heat sink off of this for the time being. Let's try the capstan tape. I've never done a heat gun attempt. Well, I have done one before, and it was kind of, not so sure about it anyway. Okay, this is where I either repair or I completely banjax the whole thing. Right, I'm going to capstan tape round and a bit more, so then I can heat up this to try and get rid of whatever part's on here, and then I can start to reassemble. There's nothing I can see is wrong with this, and I cannot solder that. Okay, prep work. Right, this is where I get serious. Wasn't sure this was working. I think it just needed a little while to power itself up. I've never actually used this because this is now officially stinks. So, capstan tape is on. Hopefully I'm not going to go any further than where that is. I need some tweezers. I guess I need to be left-handed as well. Let's see what I can do. Could really do with a different pad under here, so I don't melt my cutting mat. Found lots of things today. It's quite strange. It's quite a warm day as well today, for the UK at least anyway. So let's have a look what I can do. Can I get you in a little bit and actually sensibly do this? No, really. It's quite hot. It's over 300. I don't know how high I should go for this. Oh, can I do that with the left hand instead? Yes, it's better. See that little curve on there? Can I get you even more? Oh yeah. Okay, so I don't lose focus. Like I say, I've got nothing to lose doing this. If you're doing this on your own Xbox, potentially, you might. There's a few hundred quid down the drain. Yeah, I'll heat this up. I don't know how high I'm supposed to go. I solder at 340. So let's try 320 on the hot air. And I can actually use the screen to help a little bit of a magnifying, to be honest. I've got here, if I can try and put stuff in this one, you can see it. It actually comes off. This is as funny watching paint dry. One sec. Anyway, sometime later, I'm so happy with what I've got there. If you can see there, I've got two of these little C-shaped things which were part of the connector. They're off. I thought there was a third, but I'm not quite sure. I'm going to clean off with a little bit of isopropanol and see what's what. There is a trace there, but that's actually going to a circle. Actually going to a veer down to the bottom board. But I just need to make sure that nothing is actually touching each other. There's another bit there, I'm not quite sure on. See, I can put this back together and still get to this section if needed. I could really do is just maybe I don't know, to really scupper any future attempts at doing anything with this. I could probably do with just taking a Stanley knife to this, or scalpel to this, and just completely removing any bits of traces on this. But that wouldn't be very good now, would it? There's virtually no solder on here, and I can't see whether or not this actually does touch. Because if I go any further, I can't see. Oh, Ralph. Trying to use a camera and a magnifying glass to try and fix an Xbox. Which doesn't really help anything. Right, aha, there we go. Come on, there we go. If these don't touch, then I'm fine. Yeah, literally, I am using the screen from the camera to fix this, by the way. Right, so I don't think this is a scalpel. These, I don't like the touching, these first four. This one is off, and I don't think it's touching anything else. Like I said, these were all ripped completely off. Any of these that are not touching, I don't know. That's what's worrying me a little. Can't get anything off to see. There's another hole there, right from the blade. This is a little bit. That's okay. I don't think anything's really touching. How the heck am I seeing this? This is ridiculous. Okay, I just want to... I don't know whether or not that via is touching, but I think it might also be the same earth as what this bar here is. I know he's a stab in the dark. I'm trying to fix this. This is not my level of skill to actually get repaired. Really is not. But to get maybe this working without this bit, I'm not convinced about this part here, you know. I'm alright with all the... Where's my scalpel gone? All of the ones on this side look perfectly fine and away from anything. It's this part here, I'm not quite sure. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to... There you go. That's probably my best option. Anybody out there going, no, and so sorry. But so I don't think anything is touching anything else now. So I think we're good. We're probably good to go. So what I'm going to do is try and dismantle quite a lot. I mean, look at this. This is what I'm trying to use. Magnifying glass with a computer. With a... yeah. With the camera itself, the screen. I'm relatively happy with this. I'm going to now put things back together again. If I need to go back into this part here, I can, because it's still accessible when I get certain things back together again. So I'm going to put back together again, including... those size of those things there, you can't even see them from up there, including putting some more thermal paste on. I've got some yeah, decent paste. I'm going to put this back together again. Let's hope it works. It's a quick jump. You know what I like about this? They've numbered things. Power 02, fan 01, hard drive, why is the hard drive 04 when the disk drive's 03? So that will want to go, actually I think that's been bent up. That wants to come down a lot. This doesn't seem to connect into anything, so I want to put the cables in first. SATA drive. I've actually secured and found some other screws for the hard drive as well, so that's now fully secured in. That can go there, I hope. Yeah, looks good. Are we enough to try and test, do we think? I don't know. That's below where we want to be anyway, so that's fine. Alright. I think another part on top of, which is metal section with that weird bit that's kind of come off. Nothing major, but I do need to secure this in place. So these came with these two screws, okay? Because the other screws I've got are these ones, the metal ones, as soon as the other ones are still on. Okay. So which one was the fat one? I might just take that off actually. I'll put a bit of glue down and yeah. Yeah, I can put some PVA glue, which should hopefully put that back in place. It's only a little bit of a seal to stop the wind going out, I suppose, making sure it's trying to be a bit of airflow. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws to find. I'm assuming that one. Oh no, I've got another one then. Oh, okay, maybe another one there. I'm thinking these two are the flat ones. And then the rest will go into place. Okay, be right back. Now, with the case back on, I was wrong about these. All of these 6 go through with these ones with the case. So now I need to put the bottom case on. I'm actually missing 2 feet as well. We'll get around to that anyway. I think, oh, where's the front? That's the back. That's the front. Is this upside down? Possibly. So that could go through. Yes, goes on. But I need to wait a minute because I need to show you something as well. This is the module here. That's right. This is almost a funny bit, to be honest. Although not much of this is funny so far. It's quite serious in getting this fixed. I know. I'm not sure exactly what went through John's mind when he did this, but this is the section. And then he's took the actual ribbon cable off and then cut it. So it will never ever connect back into itself. This on eBay, I can find one of these for maybe 40 odd quid. Import from America, or just buy another Xbox and then hopefully do something with it. But this is really thick copper, or relatively thick, what they should be. So this is not actually a ribbon cable, but it is a ribbon cable with a copper on it. So either way, this socket will never work, and that button on the front, yeah, so switch 1B. I'm just glad it's not a power switch, and on this side should be the power switch. I'm going to trim this off, or should I? No, I'm just going to, so it goes in that way. I'm going to trim this, I'm going to put this underneath. Like I said, this will never work again. So I'm going to get it out of the way, put it back in place. So I don't really need it, but it's just going to be there just because it looks, yeah, normal, to be honest. Yeah, does that go? Yeah, I'm going to do it that way around. So with that in place, 1 and 2, I'll put this on with the dog barking in the background. It's not mine, but I will wring its neck in a minute. Thank you for being quiet. Right, so that's out of the way anyway from anything in particular. So I need to go, these holes here need to go with these little studs here. Yeah, I need to be careful with that ribbon cable. Maybe I should do it and see what I'm doing. So I had a crunch then. Okay, go that way around instead. I've lost the ribbon cable completely. Right. Little awkward. This is getting quite heavy now, this. Oh, there we go. So that's now got the foam on top there. That's in there. these screws can actually go straight through now and put them in place, all the F's, because we know that they go there and there. So I'm not fully missing that many screws, and I have still got the ribbon cable here to attach to the front panel there. Hopefully that's right. Looks a little bit higher up at the front. Yes, because the whole thing hasn't gone in place properly. Right. Once now, with Movie Magic, it's all done. The hard drive's in place, new screws, the side panel's on, the front panel's on. I think that's the power button. So that's the power button, and what's that button? So if that's a sync button to get the controllers working, as well as a USB, yeah, that would make sense why the USB's there. But obviously that is our problem area, as well as there. See, we can, if we need to, if it's shorting out, we can do something with that. I might even cover that with a silicone sealant. No, silicone sealant, maybe hot glue. If I know it's not on there, I can hot glue just to seal it in a little bit, to make sure there's nothing ever going to go back on top of there. But I need to test this. So all I need is a hard drive, HDMI cable for the left, that one there. So I need to the power supply, and I need to do that for the HDMI, rig up the television. I think we should be fine. I'll have to get a controller from the house. I don't have any spare Xbox One controllers in here. So if this doesn't work, then fine. It's just been a little bit of a tear down and a play around. But so far, I'm screws, actually, I'm one screw up. This is one of the original ones from the hard drive, which fit into the caddy. So I've changed that now anyway, so that can go in the bin. And off it goes. So I am now fully happy. I've got 2 screws to find for the back of here. When the top goes on and that clips on, then that's all I need to find. Wish me luck. It's all been well. I've got a network cable in, because I can't be asked to set up for Wi-Fi, HDMI for the TV and the power. Now, all I need to do is turn it on the wall, which is one thing on itself. I don't have any lights, but hello. That made a nice, interesting noise. The television is set to the right channel. The light on the front is still on. You can see the reflection of my hand. Showing 1080 on the screen. I'll just put my finger there because you can see the reflection. Hello. Xbox One. Well, you can hear that, obviously. Okay, so what I think I need to do is get a controller from the house, or just wait till this thing sets on fire. I can hear the hard drive going. Maybe that's the eject button. Oh, come on. Yes. So he didn't leave me a game in. It is kind of stuck on the Xbox One section. Don't know if it's doing an update or whether or not it's just trying to figure out what, where and how. It's gone black. Excuse me. The light is still on. It's made that weird noise. Let's update. He wants to do an update. Okay. I might have to set you up somewhere else, you know, so you can see this. Hold on. Now, this is a little bit awkward an angle for me, but I've been testing this for about half an hour now, and it seems to be working fine. I couldn't log into John's account, which obviously is his password, and I wouldn't do that anyway, so I logged into my own account, and it seems to work. It's fine. The controller, it did with the front on here, you'd have to pair things up with the front or use the button. That's non-existent. But to put this controller with this, all I had to do was put a USB cable in the back of it, turn it on, and everything seemed to work. And it's off, and it's on, and it's working. So I know I've got Forza an account on my other Xbox, and I do play it online on the PC. So So far this works fine. The only thing that's dodgy is that little connector bit there, which I will cover over with something. It could either be hot glue, or it could... I might just put insulating tape on that just to stop anything going on there anyway in the future. But at the minute, this is working fine. It did say that after 2 hours of playing, and this has been half an hour, that it did kind of... it did shut off. But with the actual connector itself, I'm not 100% convinced that it was that has got the problems with it. But with it not working for John, and now it is for me, I'm quite, I'm quite convinced it's probably going to work. So, yeah, it obviously is working fine. I mean, there's no queue or anybody else trying to work on this anyway. So, gift received apparently. A bad camera angle, I know. I'm kind of... This is the low down the chair goes to get this on here. Should have put you on a tripod, to be honest, a little bit higher up. But yeah, this seems to be working absolutely fine. I mean, there's Muso John, beat him by a bit. So, yeah. I don't fully understand what was. It has to be it was shorting out on that USB connector, but why it would do that so much, I don't know. The only other thing I can actually think it was... Oh, no you go. Is it runs very, very hot, and I wouldn't mind in the description, this has been clamped back on properly, this has been thermal pasted really well. I would love to know if this actually does run. That is very warm, but not burning me yet. I mean, it does seem quiet. It's almost like the fan does work. I've actually took this to pieces again to see whether the fan works, and it's on that core anyway. There is a breeze coming out. It could do with being a bit more. Maybe something in the settings I can tweak, I don't know. So far, working fine. So I'm going to put the top back on it, get out of this game, and yeah, so far this seems to be working. But I do need to test this a lot more, so it's not a fully end of the video just yet. So we'll see what happens in a few minutes. So this is everything back together again. All working. My nice polar white controller I bought a while ago. Nice white. Yeah, it all seems to fit rather well, this one. And it is still booting up perfectly fine. I'm hoping, see, it does actually get hot, warm there, but that's bang underneath where the chip is and the power supply. I'm not 100% convinced it's going to work, but I need to soak test this overnight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end the video there, and if you want to know... Oh, hello. Where's the focusing gone? If you want to know what's happened with the focus, then please... Whoa, okay. That's weird. The camera's just gone silly. Hang on. There we go. I don't think it likes this much white, to be honest, my camera. But if you stick around to the very end of the video, after the last titles for all the patrons, I will then add a little bit on the end, like I do in quite a few of the videos, and we'll see if this hasn't been on fire or not. But so far, it's working fine. So keep my hand there because it's focusing seems to be going a bit weird. I don't know why. Hear that? That's really weird. Doesn't like to be left alone with big white blotch. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for John for donating. This is absolutely brilliant. Working. You can hear it popping. I don't want to play Minecraft. No. Elder Scrolls. Ooh, hello. So, with that in mind, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow my social media. If you've got something to donate yourself, then please get in touch. And yeah, we can do something. If not, if you want to help out the channel even more, you can be a Patreon, and your name goes up with the scroll, which is in a few seconds' time. So stick till after that bit to see whether or not this is absolutely fine, because it'll be recorded tomorrow. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye for now. Anyway, the next morning, this is still working fine. It's warm there. I would expect it to be warm there anyway. Yeah, everything seems to be working fine. No problems whatsoever.